Get ready with me plus story time on how my boyfriend's ex-girlfriend snuck into his house while I was there. And if you're new to the series, this isn't my story time, it's one of my followers. So if you also want to send me a story time, please do so through my email in bio. And these are all told in first person. And for codenames, we're gonna call the ex-girlfriend Lana, and we're gonna call my boyfriend Abraham. So when me and Abraham first started dating, he warned me, not really warned me, but obviously he told me about his ex-girlfriend because we both talked about like and told each other about our exes, and we both had like some pretty, and I honestly did not think it was that bad at first because all she would do was just like stalk my like socials and stalk his socials whenever. I was like, all right, like that's normal, like I get it, whatever. Like I didn't really care about that. I never really said anything, but like I would always see her my views and everything. But it didn't start to get bad until she decided to make like 100 fake accounts and try to like add him on like all different types of socials and like get him to follow her back. This girl even went as far as like making a fake account of like his aunt or like one of his family members and saying like, oh, like I think she commented like, oh honey, like it's this and so, like it's so and so, like can you follow me back, like whatever. And obviously like he follows the account back because he thinks it's the relative. But then she immediately exposes herself, like not even like a few days later. Keep in mind, this account had like no post, like only followed him. So like I don't think he thought that it was suspicious because like he's a guy. But then like after I realized it, I was like, wait, like you couldn't tell when it had like no followers. But he ran to me as soon as like he got this like weird message from the account saying like it's actually like Lana, and like I just created this account because like I need to talk to you again, like please don't block me, like saying all this stuff. And at this point, we're new to her doing this, so he doesn't even say anything. He just goes ahead and blocks her, like says absolutely nothing. Ooh, my brother just walked in. And this is when things started to get really bad because I think she started to realize that he just really like never wanted to speak to her again, which he obviously like had been showing her that for like months because they had been broken up for like 7 months at this point. Oh my god. So this girl eventually resorts to calling his mom and sister, and they both like do not like this girl. So when Lana decides, and she didn't tell me this until like after Lana called, like spam called like the mom on like different accounts, because like the mom like didn't just want to like straight up block her because she was like what the heck, but she was starting to get like really stressed out and eventually like did block her because Lana just kept calling and like asking like when she could see Abraham again, and that like she missed the mom and the family and all this stuff. And it got so bad to the point where Abraham's mom had to call her mom and tell her like what her crazy daughter was doing. And eventually Lana stopped for like about 2 months. But then right after that, she just started to do crazier things. And go to part 2 because I'm already at 3 minutes without editing. Love you guys. Bye.
Directly while I tell you guys how I'm gonna be grounded for a whole year. Yes, a whole year, like starting today. So yesterday I was gonna be hanging out with like friends and going to a party, and I didn't tell my mom, which is like where I messed up. So I left my house at like 6, but before I left my house, my mom was like super on edge. Like she kept on coming in my room, literally no joke, every 10 minutes while I was doing my makeup to go out, and she kept on being like, why are you doing your makeup? Why are you getting ready? Which is weird because like I low-key do my makeup all the time and don't go anywhere. So after she kept on like being weird, I was debating even going. I was like, I don't know if I want to go anymore. I text my friends and they were saying, just come, it's gonna be fine. Like she's just paranoid right now. Okay, so my friends got here and then I snuck out using my window. And I make it into my friend's car and then I start low-key like panicking. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be in so much trouble if my mom catches me, this and that. Then my friends and I go out. We're out for like 1 max 2 hours. When I then start hearing, like feeling the vibration of my phone going off, like someone's calling me. Y'all, no joke, my stomach literally fell to my butt. I already knew who it was. I grab my phone, I look at it, and just as I expected, it was my mom calling. I obviously couldn't answer it because I was at a party, there was music, my mom would just start going crazy. My friends, we had to go, so we left super quick. We got in their car, and while we got in their car, that's when I ended up calling my mom. As soon as I answered the phone, my mom just automatically started yelling like, I got it. She's like, what are you doing out this late? Where are you? I just came in your room, you're not in here. Like she was going crazy. I'm on the phone like literally trying to calm my mom down. My friends are looking at me horrified because you know, like if you have your phone loud enough on your like on the ear, like they could hear my mom yelling at me. So my mom was like, you got 5 minutes to get home. If you're not here in 5 minutes, you're like in deep trouble. Mind you, I was 30 minutes away from my house, and obviously I'm not gonna make my friends speed to my house. Like I don't want to get in a car accident. So literally as soon as I got to the house, like as soon as I pulled up, I see my mom running outside. She opens the car door and snatches me and literally drags me back into the house. Like, I'm not joking. She literally dragged me into the house. Like, my butt was getting scraped on the floor. Like, I'm not lying. And then once I got inside, I got chewed out even more than the phone and getting dragged into the house. My mom said, give me your phone. So you guys probably wondering how I'm recording. My mom's at work, so I found the phone at the house. So she took away my phone and she said that I'm grounded for the next year. She's considering sending me to boarding school because I've been misbehaving so much. Anyways, it's a makeup look, and yeah, that is how I'm gonna be grounded for a year. So pray for me.
Story time on how our best friend got with both of our boyfriends in one night. Okay, so we were all getting ready for a party, like me, her, and this girl, let's call her Melissa, and our boyfriends.
Melissa was being like really touchy with both of our boyfriends the whole time. Like, we were like,
So the Uber was like an XL, and she literally pushed both me and her to the back seats, like the ones that you have to like pop up in the trunk. And then she sat in the middle of our boyfriends.
Yep.
Then we get to the party and it was like really fun until one of our other really good friends like got really sick and she was like in the bathroom like the whole time. So we were like low-key like taking care of her. And we started thinking like, wait, like where is Melissa?
but we didn't really think much about it until our friend came in and told us something really crazy.
She told us that her boyfriend was getting with Melissa in the basement bedroom.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, she's pissed. I'm mad too. At this point, her boyfriend had already ordered an Uber for us to, like, all go back to my house. So we were like, okay, like, free Uber. We're still gonna get in it. So he came too, which was, like, so dumb. Like, what are you doing? So then we get back to my house, and it's all 5 of us.
Yeah.
And she's, like, yelling at her boyfriend.
I was like
So.
crying and
And I was, like, trying to, like, be the middleman, like, trying to help a little bit, like, calm her down a little bit. Because it's just, like, we're all, like, and then, you know, that's happening. And then I'm like, wait, where's Melissa and my man? Like, what's going on? And we, like, search the whole house for them. And guess where we find them? In my bed.
her own bed, bro.
And Melissa's literally, like, on top of him. I drag her ass out of there. I'm like, I'm never talking to you again. Like, you crazy ass bitch. I kick all 3 of them out, her boyfriend, my boyfriend, and Melissa. I didn't talk to Melissa for a few days, but she texted us yesterday, and she was like, guys, I'm, like, so sorry. Like, I would never do that again. Like, I'm coming right now to the beach, because we're at my beach house. And I'm like, we're going to work this out, blah, blah, blah.
Because she was supposed to come to the beach with us, and we were like, don't come back.
No, you're not coming now. And knowing Melissa, she is the type to, like, come. Like, she's definitely coming.
Yeah.
I checked her Snap Map, and she's, like, 30 minutes away. So that's low-key, like, what we're getting ready for right now. So I'm going to beat that bitch up. Give you guys an update if you want one.
We also broke up with our boyfriends because, obviously.
Like, after that, we're living the single life. Like, that is...
And she's probably texting them.
So, yeah. Let us know if you want an update. She's literally 10 minutes away.
This is how my older brother reacted when he found out that my mom had gotten with his best friend. For context, at the time my mom was 36 or 37. My brother was 18 years old and his best friend was 23. So my 2 older brothers were at my mom's house with their girlfriends. They were all hanging out, drinking, and they were about to go out. And when they were all about to leave, my brother asked my mom, hey mom, what are you doing? We're leaving. And my mom was like, actually, I'm gonna stay and cut Kenny, aka his best friend's hair. And my brother looked at both of them in that moment and he knew that they had gotten together. Naturally, he was pissed. Brother took the keys to my mom's car. The car was sitting in her driveway. He had been drinking a little bit and he literally backed the car up, drove it really, really fast down the street and purposefully crashed it into a pole. Obviously, he ended up totaling my mom's car, and our mom obviously wasn't very happy. After that, they didn't really get along for a minute, which I totally understand. Eventually, he had no choice but to get over it. Once he saw how happy my dad made my mom, he accepted it, and then they were able to move on. Mind you, this was in the 80s, and I wasn't even a thought. My brother's best friend is my dad.
My boyfriend of 6 years disappeared when I was out of town. This is an intense story time, so buckle up. I, 32 female, came home Tuesday evening from being away for work for 2 weeks, and my 35-year-old male boyfriend was supposed to pick me up from the airport. But once I got in, I could not get a hold of him, and he never showed up to the airport. Now, I was annoyed but not worried because he said he hadn't slept well the night before and that he was going to go lay down before coming to get me. So I figured he had just fallen asleep, so I called my sister to come get me. When I arrived home, I noticed that his car wasn't in the garage, so I kept texting and I was still getting no response. So I head upstairs to go put my clothes into the closet and I notice that almost all of his clothes are gone. And at this point, I start to get really freaked out. I call my sister to come over because at this point, I'm not really sure what to do and I don't really know what's going on because he's still not answering. The only thing that is missing is his car and almost all of his clothes. My sister arrives. I have her go into the laptop and I go on his desktop because I know all of the passwords and we find nothing out of the ordinary. So I start looking into the drawers a little more and I find his iPad in one of the drawers. And so I go on it and I try to investigate and see if I can find anything on there. Again, nothing out of the ordinary. But then my sister suggests that I go on his iPad and try to do the Find My iPhone app on his iPad. And then this is where it gets interesting. When I do the Find My iPhone, his phone is pinging in the next state over. So I start calling and texting again and again, over and over and over, and still no response. Why is he in the state over? Why is he not here? This is where I really start to lose it mentally. I call the police, but they said since it hasn't been long that he left under his own volition, and so they couldn't really do anything. Over the next few days, I continuously look at his location and notice that it is in the exact same spot, a state over. So I take it upon myself to take off the entire next week of work, and me and my sister are going to fly over there and see what's going on since he's not answering any of my texts. And honestly, I'm not sure what to do.
Get ready with me for story time on how me and my family caught a rando living in our house. If you're new to the series, this is not my story time, it's one of my followers, so if you also want to send me a story, please do so through either DM or email and I'll read it as soon as possible. And any name I use in this video or any of my other videos of the series, they are all code names. So for context, I am the youngest of 3 siblings, and this comes into play because all my siblings were in college and my parents are working all the time, so normally it's just me alone in the house when I come back from school or work. Occasionally it was normal for there to be like animals or like raccoons. I don't even know the animal, but like animals or like rats that would live in my attic, and like my dad would normally go up there and like set up traps for the animals. Because at night they would sometimes keep me awake, especially in the winter when they would have like nowhere else to go. I would always hear them scratching because I lived, like, my room was right under the attic. In fact, the attic was literally inside of my room. So me hearing noises in my house, even when I was home alone, did not really faze me because, like I said, there was always like animals, or I don't know, I just never thought, like, never considered there to be somebody in my house. And another thing to keep in mind is that I have 2 pets. I have a dog and 1 cat, so obviously they're always like walking around the house, so I'm like used to hearing them. But keep in mind, when I don't really hear my cat because she's not really like, I don't know, I just never really hear her. She's quieter than my dog. But when I do hear my dog, I normally hear scratching noises. They're not like heavy footsteps. So I began to get really paranoid, guys. I'm literally checking my closet because I'm low-key really scared right now. When I read the story, like, I was... And I'm sorry if this video came up on your For You page or you're just watching this video at night. So one day I'm on TikTok just like scrolling like anyone else. It's like 10 p.m. at this point, and normally I go to sleep around like 10-ish. But all of a sudden, because like I'm honestly a pretty loud person, like when I do my homework, like I'm normally listening to music because no one's home, so I just like play my music, and then like I take showers, and like I'm just like a pretty loud person. Like, I'm always on FaceTime, but this time, like this night was like the only day that I could get sleep, so I like, or like that I had the day off and like I didn't have anything to do because I'm a pretty busy person. I do sports, I do like a bunch of things. And this video is already at 3 minutes, so stay tuned for part 2. Love you guys. Bye.
Story time on the craziest batshit lady I have ever met in my life. So this happened last year when I was driving to the gym. The girl was up in the gym just working on her fitness. Feel me? Like, I was just trying to get to the bag. And where I was driving through my town, there was 2 lanes, and they basically merged into one. My car is here, and the second car, the crazy ass lady, is in the lane to the left behind me. So as the lanes finally combine into one, I look to my left. The car behind me, that was well behind me, speeds up and goes right on the median. I'm not paying this woman no mind, because girl, you were driving on the median for no reason. Like, you clearly were not gonna get in front of me. I don't understand. She's driving right behind me again. There's mad traffic, like bumper to bumper traffic. I just hear screaming. Rah! You bitch. There's no shot that's the bitch behind me. 30 seconds later, I look to my right now, and it's her driving on the shoulder now, looking at me like, doing all that with her mouth, like, I look at her like she's fucking crazy. So what do? I look at her dead in her face, and I'm like, I blew her a kiss and wished her best for her day, and I was like, I'm gonna pray for you. That set her off. Because if there's one thing about me, I could be petty. Grown, I have matured, I've gotten out of that stage, I pray to God. But, bitch, you're gonna start acting crazy now, I'm gonna just piss you off even more. Now I really don't care. Still sitting in traffic, maybe 15 more minutes after this, and I think she's okay. You got your lick back, you went on both sides of me, like, we should all be fine and dandy. Trying to make the story as short as I can, but guys, it just keeps getting better. Now I'm passing a Dunkin' Donuts to get my cousin something because she works at the gym I was going to. I turn into the Dunkin' Donuts, girl behind me, biggest honk in the world. I'm like, okay, that was expected. You was pissed off in your car for the last 30 minutes, foaming at the mouth because I merged rightfully so in front of you. She's gone. I'm like, hallelujah. Girl, I hope you have a day you deserve. So now I place my order through the drive-thru, look down to get my money ready for the cashier. Why would I look the fuck up? The woman's car is parked in front of me. Now you're dragging it. You're gonna follow me to Dunkin' Donuts because I merged in front of you? She walks over to my car now. Mind you, my window is already down because I just placed the order. She walks over to my car. She's like, you're fucking with the wrong bitch. I'm looking at her like, you sure? You went out of your way to come to Dunkin' Donuts. Now I'm just gonna really bother you. She comes over to me like, learn how to drive. Learn how to drive. You fucked with the wrong bitch. In the beginning, I was gonna hear her out, right? Because girl's like miserable. I don't know what kind of morning she was having. I was just gonna let it out and keep it moving. Because I'm like, you know what? There's another problem here. I was looking at her like this the whole time with my hand on my cheek. I look at her and I go, right? But I tell you, that sent her. I'm winding up my window, cracking up. And she's pissed, walking back to her car with whatever demon was inside her possessed. I don't know. Even the cashier, when I pulled up to the window, was like, are you okay? I gave them the whole breakdown too. And they were like, oh geez, people before their 9 a.m. coffee. Like, it was so fucking chaotic. I've never had a road rage interaction like that in my life. Don't be like that girl, following people into breakfast spots and whatnot. That is really mad. And I'm judging you. And I was judging her hard as hell. Okay.
The most insane thing that I've ever experienced happened to me today at Target. If you shop at Target, please listen to this because I almost got scammed out of $800. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet so I don't have to make 2 parts. But this lady was in the aisles while I was trying on like a bikini or something. And she asked my boyfriend if he could buy her formula, like baby formula. And he came over to me and was like, hey, this lady's asking for baby formula. Like, I'm going to go help her out. And I was like, oh, I'll help her too. We walk out, this lady has an entire basket full of formula. Me and him don't have any kids or anything, so we're not really aware of the prices of formulas. It was like 5 cans, and we thought that it would be like a little pricey, but nothing crazy. So as she's telling us her little sob story, she has 3 kids, she's a single mom, she has to send her kids back to Bulgaria with her fucking mom, I don't even know. As she's saying this, she is loading up the cart with other things, and I'm trying to migrate us over to self-checkout because I'm like, okay, this is going to be a little bit pricey. So we get to self-checkout and we start scanning things. The numbers are getting pretty high, okay, and she's trying to distract me. She was like talking to me about her kids and whatever, and then she's like, oh, can I give you my phone number so that I can pay you back? I get paid on Friday. This was not the first time she offered to give me her phone number, but I was like, no, it's okay, you know, act of kindness, whatever. So she gives me her phone number. I let her do it because I see the number going up and I'm like, you know what, my birthday's coming up, I cannot afford this. She gives me her phone number and I call it, and then she was like, oh, I got it. Her phone did not light up. Her phone did not ring. There wasn't a sound. There wasn't a vibration. Nothing. That should have been a red flag to me, but I was like, oh, that was a little weird. Whatever. I look over. It's $800. $800 worth of baby stuff. So at this point, my heart is in my butthole. Like, I cannot afford to pay this much. My boyfriend is looking like he just saw a ghost. But we didn't want to seem like assholes and say, never mind, put it all back. So we paid for it. As I'm taking the receipt out of the machine, I'm like, this is a scam. This is a scam. She's going to return it all and get the money. Before I could say anything, my boyfriend had already handed her the receipt and we started walking away. And I was literally shaking, almost crying. And I was like, we just got scammed. She's going to go return all that for the money. And you could tell that he had the same realization. And we were like frantically trying to figure out what to do. And the only thing that I thought was, don't let her leave the store with that receipt because she's going to be able to return it all. So then my boyfriend went over and smooth talked, whatever, got the receipt. And she got a picture of it, but he got the receipt. And we're standing in like the little kids aisle. And we're like, what the fuck do we do? Like, do we put this as a fraudulent charge with our bank? Do we can we go talk to a manager? I was like, I'm just gonna go talk to the guest services people. The worst that'll happen is they'll say they can't help us. So I go over, my voice is literally shaking, like I am almost in tears, and I'm like, I think we just got scammed. I don't know if you guys can help us. What should we do? While we're at guest services, the lady is standing at the front staring at us. And then also, there's a lady right next to us at the other guest services register. She has a cart full of baby stuff that she's returning. And they look very alike. Anyways, I explained the entire situation to this lady. The lady next to us is listening to everything, and she goes onto her phone. I'm gonna have to make a part 2. I'm so sorry, but this is where it gets really good.
In 8th grade, I almost got jumped by over 7 girls over a boy. What's up? I'm Jayla. I go by Lynn on social media, so let's get into it. Okay, so it was a random Saturday. Me and my 3 best friends, we all went to the mall. So me and my best friend, we went to one store, and my other 2 best friends, they went to get some food at the food court, I think. So we walked into this one store, and I seen my little ex-boo in there. So when I seen him, we were just in there talking, giggling, all that, feel me? But I had peeped, like, when I was with him, he kept looking around. I'm not thinking nothing of it. So my best friend went to another store. I told her I was good. Me and my ex were just going to walk around. The mall was getting ready to close, so that's why she wanted to go to another store so bad. So I just told her, go ahead, like, I'll be okay. So me and him just walking and talking, feel me, catching up on things. We walking, and this is what I hear. Hey, excuse me. So I'm like, what the hell? I was like, she can't be talking to me. And so I turned to him. I was like, you know who that is? He was like, no, I don't know who that is. Okay. So after he said he don't know who she is, we just kept walking. Because me thinking, I don't even know who she talking about, who she talking to. So we just kept walking. I turn around. It's like 3 little... They ran down the steps. So they come up to me. They hit him. I'm like, oh! And so the girl, she was asking me, she was like, oh, you didn't hear me call you? In my head, I'm like, who is she talking to? Like, what? But I was like, I didn't know you was talking to me. Feel me? How was I supposed to know you was talking to me? I was like, he said he didn't know who y'all was. So she was asking, you know, what we had going on, because apparently her best friend was dating him at the time. So I'm sitting here talking to the 3 girls, explaining that me and my ex, we just like cool, like on some shit, we just cool. While I'm talking to them, it's like 7, 8, 9 other people that come out the cut, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? It was a couple dudes, and then the rest was girls. I say it was like 3 dudes, and the rest was girls, probably like 8 girls. I ain't gonna lie, it was like 11 people. Mind you, when everybody started to pop up, her little friends, he done ran off. So I'm by myself. So now, instead of me talking to 3 people, I'm talking to like 7, 8 other people. Me, I don't take nothing. So I was over there, I was getting mad, I was getting hyped up, and I was trying to be cool, but like they just kept trying to press me. And while I was getting loud, I guess my best friends heard me. So one of my best friends popped out, and then like the other 2 popped out. It was like, what's going on? Feel me? What's up? Like for part 2, and I'm gonna let y'all know what happened after my best friend showed up.
Get ready with me for story time on how a creepy man was following me and my friends at the mall. So this was about a year ago, like close to a year ago now, but it still like haunts me to think about. It was like so creepy. So me and my friends wanted to go shopping one day, so we decided to go to the mall that we usually do. And keep in mind, I've been going to this mall since I was like little, and nothing bad has ever happened. So I don't really remember what store it was. I think it was Cotton On or something, but me and my friends were just casually shopping in Cotton On. And my friend told me, she's like, this guy has been following us and he's creepily staring at us. And I see this guy and I'm like, I don't remember seeing him anywhere. Like, how long has he been staring at? Like, has he been following us for? And by the way, this was like the 3rd store that we went into, so I didn't think that like, I hadn't seen anyone coming. And to be honest, at first, me and my other friend, because I was with 2 other girls, we thought that she was joking because it just seemed like a joke. We didn't think that somebody was actually following us. And when we looked and turned at the guy, he just seemed like a normal guy. I mean, he had like a bucket hat and like he was just like looking around. We just thought she was joking or something. But one of the girls, well, the first girl that told us, I'm gonna call her Stella, she was so dead serious. Like, I looked at her and she was like, I'm actually getting creeped out. And I asked her, like, why didn't you tell us before? And she was like, oh, I just thought it was a coincidence that he was going to the same stores as us. And for people that know me, know that I do not take these things lightly. So I literally asked Stella, I was like, I think that, you know, if you really think that he's following us, then we should go tell the workers or one of the mall guards. But then Stella tells me that he's not really doing anything like super bad. He might just be like looking, or possibly it might just be a coincidence. So we all decided that it might be a good idea to just wait and like feel things out, because we can always go to mall security where we're inside the mall. It's not like this was an outside mall. But we soon realized that Stella's tuition and what she was thinking was actually right, because the next at least 5 stores that we went into, he was always there, and even in Sephora, and he wouldn't go and like actually look around. He would like go down the aisles and like slowly follow us, and we knew it. And just to try to take him off our minds a little bit and see if like he would still follow us, I decided to go to like this Starbucks that's like in the middle of the mall. It's not like in its own little area. It's like dead in the middle of the mall. Like that's it in the middle of the mall. So I decided like to go stop there because like if he really decides to go and stop there, then we actually have a serious problem. So we go in there, and guess what? He goes into the Starbucks line. So at this point, I'm like, okay, no, this is actually scary as hell. So I don't go up to him. I don't say anything to him because I'm not trying to start or get him mad or anything, accuse him of anything. So at this point, me and my friends get scared. So we back off the Starbucks line and we decide to go to like up to the I can't speak, but we decided to go to the food court area where the guards are, like where you can like ask for help or like if you have concerns. So we go to that little office. This is the first time I ever had to go in that area since I was like a child. I've never had to go in there. But unfortunately, the story does not stop there. As we were walking, because keep in mind, we were like in the middle, but you have to take an elevator or take the escalator up to even get to the floor to talk to the guards. So at this point, we're all scared shitless. And I'm just telling everyone, like, calm down. Like, I know we're scared, but it's better to stay calm in these types of situations. So we're walking up the stairs. I mean, we're not walking up the stairs. We're trying to walk a little faster. I'm like, guys, just speed walk a little bit, but don't be too obvious and don't look back. So we start to speed walk, and guess who else starts to speed walk? The guy. So I'm like looking back, but not in a super, like I'm doing it in a subtle way, and I'm like, oh shit. So we actually at this point are like running to the guard's office, and he speeds up so fast. Like, I'm not even kidding you. He was making it so obvious. And I am running out of time because I have no phone storage, and it literally, the video won't post if I keep continuing. So stay tuned for part 2. I'm posting tonight. Love you guys. Bye. Get ready with me plus part 2 of my creepy mall stalker. And I have so many more stories like that that are actually worse, so stay tuned for those. So once we saw the guy start to speed up, we were like, all right, we have to get there like now. Like, we did not know what this guy had, and he was just getting really sus. And keep in mind, we decided to take the escalator instead of the elevator because just for common sense reasons. And at this time, we were about like 10 stores down from the escalator because we would have gone to the closer escalator, but that escalator had been closed, ironically. So at this point, the guy is just acting really sus. He's like starting to reach into his pockets. And at this point, we thought that he had been recording us because a couple of times, I forgot to mention this other story, but like he would like whip out his phone and was just, you know, when someone's recording you. So he was recording us and it was really creepy. So me and my friends at this point are seriously running. We spare no time. We run up that escalator and we're like running down to the food court. And it was such a busy day. So we were like pushing through all these people and they thought we were like running from the cops probably. So as we're like running to the food court area, I guess he kind of knew like what we were doing, like what our plan was. So as we keep looking back, we realize that he just is not following us anymore, but we are at this point just still running because we didn't know, like, okay, maybe he took a shortcut. We didn't know. So we still just go to the guard's office anyways. And when we get into the guard's office, it was like a little office area. I had never been in there, so I didn't know like what to expect. But we're going in there, like literally pushing through people. And I'm like, listen, like this guy is following me and my friends. And then they're like asking us, they're like, okay, calm down, like what's going on? And I'm honestly perfectly fine. My 2 other friends were a little stressed out, but I was like, all right, guys, we have to remain calm or these people are just, the guards are not going to know how to help us. So I tell the officers basically what happened, and they're asking us questions like, all right, did he say anything to you? Because I guess they were trying to find a reason where they had like reasonable like proof. I don't know. I forget the word, and I literally took AP Gov this year, but he was just like asking us questions like, okay, like did he touch you? Was he saying anything to you? And he wasn't saying anything to us, but I was literally telling him like the guy was literally chasing us down. And I'm like asking the guards and everything. I'm like, don't you guys have like hella cameras in this mall? Like, can somebody just check them and tell us what's going on? Like, find the guy at least. So like the main officer that we have been talking to the whole time told me that they were gonna at least like try to find the guy in the mall to like question him or something. To, like ask him like if he was following us. I don't know. So long story short, there wasn't much the guards could do. Like they literally told me like there's not a lot we can do, especially since he didn't like do like, he wasn't like full on harassing, and also they couldn't even find him. So when the main guy told me like he had sent out people like guards to find the guy, like we described him in the best way we could. They told us that they couldn't find him. So I guess the stalker, the creepy man, like knew what we were doing and he like ran when he could. I don't know, but I was so pissed off. And now that I think about it, there's so much, especially in like today's day and age, whatever, that he could have done us. I mean, he could have been like a trafficker or even worse. Like, I don't know what he was doing. And honestly, like, thank God we got out of that situation totally uninjured. But yeah, we went home that day. Like, we all went home perfectly safe and everything. And they told me that they never found the guy. Because the guy told me if he had like actually done something like super bad, like hurt us or something, then like they could probably find him. But he didn't really, like, he was just following us. But that is honestly just a lesson to always stay with a friend, use the buddy method, and to always be aware of your surroundings. Yeah, and for the girls or people like in my comments touching me like, oh, why didn't you go to Victoria's Secret, or why didn't you go into this store? Girl, it doesn't matter. Either way, he was gonna follow us. Even if we went into the store, at that point we knew he was following us. So going into different stores or the bathroom would not be a safe option, especially because if we go into the bathroom, he could be waiting outside. I just feel like that would have been a worse option, honestly. But yeah, this is gonna be the finished look. Stay tuned for more story times because I have so many more like this and worse. So yeah, love you guys. Bye.
1 year ago, from tomorrow, I made my first ever police report against my freshman roommate in college. The university and the campus police since then have been covering this up, so I feel this is finally my time to come forward. And I'm just gonna ask God to guide me through all of this. I went into college my freshman year choosing a random roommate in which I was going to be sharing a bedroom with. My first impression of her was she seemed very quiet, but I felt like we had things in common. For example, like she liked to dance and she was Christian. Besides that, everything else that I went through, I would have never in a million years expected to go through that. And I do not wish that on anybody. The university has since then covered this entire situation up and never once did anything about it, nor did the police. This started off, I started school on August 16th, 1 year ago, and this was my first ever, experience in college. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any friends. So obviously, your first friend is supposed to be your roommate. That's who you share a space with, and that's supposed to be your comfort zone. That's supposed to be your new home. That's what's supposed to feel secure to you. I have never wanted to leave somewhere so much in my life and never felt so uncomfortable and just not safe that I spent every single day that I had free time that I was supposed to be in my room in the basement of our building. Starting off the first week of school, the only time that me and my roommate ever held a conversation was the night that we moved in when my mom was present in the room. Every time after that, her boyfriend was in the room 24/7. I never got privacy to begin with, so obviously this was my first issue. So I knew that I was able to go to my RA about that, but I mean when I would literally walk out of the bathroom in my robe, like her boyfriend was in the room, there was no common courtesy, no common decency to just give me my privacy and leave, and he just sat there the entire time. So things were already awkward to begin with. Not to mention that they both knew who I was from social media, so it made it even more awkward that somebody was sitting there watching how I live my everyday life. But I had nowhere else to go because I didn't know anybody and I didn't have any friends. So I would literally take my butt and venture out of my room around a university that I had no clue where I was going just because I felt so unsafe in my room the first few days with my roommate and her boyfriend. And I feel as though she purposely made it awkward for me because I was so welcoming. I let her know when I was leaving. I let her know, hey, I'm going to hang out with my friends. I'll be back later, blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, okay. Like there was nothing. There was no conversation and I tried. So at this point, I'm like, bro, this girl she just doesn't like me. What's the motive? Nothing. Every time after that I left my room and she knew I was leaving, we basically kind of had each other's schedules. Like we knew when we weren't going to be in our rooms. Every time I would leave my room and I would come back, my stuff was off the walls. I had a big LED light that said Aaliyah and I never turned it on because I knew it was so bright. And I don't know if she just didn't like my name being up on the wall when you walk in the room, but she ripped it down every time I left my room. But at this time, I'm just thinking that my command strips just aren't sticking to the walls. Like I'm just thinking my stuff is just falling off the walls. So every time I come back in my room and she's literally sitting there watching me, watching my reaction, I put my stuff back up on my walls and I carry on with my day. And every time I leave again, the same stuff is back down. I had plants hanging in my room. I had a whiteboard in my room. I had my LED light. All of that was down on the ground. This happened every single day and every time I left my room. And I cannot express how crazy I felt in the head that I was given every single sign these few weeks that I let this go on, and I never once thought that it was her. She seemed so quiet. She seemed very mature. She seemed nice. She preached to be a Christian girl. She was in a sorority, and I'm just like, there's no way it's her. Like, this stuff just isn't sticking to my walls. And this is when I tell you guys to always believe your gut. Fast forward to when I started showering after that. I feel like after the first few days, ripping my stuff off the walls wasn't enough for her. She didn't get enough of a humiliation reaction out of me that she started pouring out my shampoo, my conditioner, my body wash, and my shaving cream. Then again, Aaliyah thought that this was just her. I'm thinking this stuff's just falling over in the shower, it might have been an accident. Let me walk my happy butt all the way off of campus to Target to go restock my stuff just to come back, shower again, and then the next day, it's gone. So now I'm calling my mom all the time and I'm like, Mom, like this is happening. My mom's like, you need to take pictures of everything. You need to document everything. You need to document when it happens. And she's like, Aaliyah, why aren't you saying something to her? Like, at least ask her. And I just was like scared. I was terrified too. I don't like putting people on the spot. And I didn't want her to have a bad first impression of me, or for me to seem like I was mean or I was accusing her of something that she wasn't doing. So I continued to let it go on until I was given like an actual reason to be like, oh my gosh, like this is her. And it only got worse. Stay tuned for part 2.
Story time on how I found out there was a hidden camera in my room. I'm gonna include pictures and the videos that I took and try and help y'all understand what was happening, like the context. Just bear with me. Okay, so I lived with my dad from 6th grade to the summer before senior year when I moved out. My mom, for context, lives in Washington State. That's a 36-hour drive from me, 6-hour flight. So for some context as to why I didn't go live with my mom. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the night that it was found, the night we found the camera. And I say we because it was 3 o'clock in the morning and I start hearing like banging on my door. And I'm like, okay, so I wake up, I open my door, and it's my stepmom. And she's like shaking, like whispering, but like not really giving me much. But then she's like, look at this. And my room is pitch black. Well, she's like, there's a camera in your room. And so I was like, what do you mean? So like, obviously we turned the lights on and we're kind of searching because my room, actually, let me show you all the pictures. Okay, so this is my dad's phone and the hand that's holding it is my stepmom. So if you can see, like, my room was kind of wooden. So there was a tiny camera in between slats, literally directly pointed at my bed. Okay? So how she found it was she was going through his phone and, like, she found a bunch of other stuff, like he was on OnlyFans and, like, doing all this other stuff. But she, like, tapped on a random app and it opened and she was like, she could tell it was a camera, but my room was pitch black, so she didn't know what it was. But I had like a little candle lamp thing, and she saw it and she thought it might be my room, so she came and like woke me up, and it was, and we found it. And so like to get the camera out, we had to go, I had a wall. On the other side of the wall was my closet, so I went into my closet. We had to like take the insulation out of my wall, and the camera was like taped, like not taped. It was like sticky foil. It was like sticky foiled onto the wall, so peeking through the slats, and soldered into my light switch. So like, of course we ripped it out. Okay, so this right here, that is the camera. Like this foil is the sticky stuff I'm talking about, and that's the like tiny camera that like, okay, and then this like little, how do I show you? This little block was like where it was soldered, and like of course we like pulled the wires out. We just ripped it, like honestly, we weren't worried about anything, but yeah. So I remember after that, like it was like 4 a.m. at that point, and I didn't know what to do. Like neither did she. Like we didn't know, like, what do we do? Do we wake him up? Or because like there was so much stuff. Like there was problems with their marriage, and then he also like was, you know, recording me. And what even makes it worse is I had boyfriends at the time, and he knew I was sexually active. And so I was sneaking out, like, when I was, like, 14 with the same boyfriend that I had until I was 16. And, you know, he found that out, and he, like, told me it was a safe place to do in my room. Okay, just leave it at that. He bought me a lock, told me to lock the door, you know, made me feel safe about it. Come to find out there was a camera in there the whole time that wasn't in there for parental control because my stepmom didn't know about it either. And he hid it. Like he didn't tell anybody. It was only faced at my bed. That like big windowsill that you saw in the picture, like it's a glass, but it doesn't open. Like it's locked. Does that make sense? I don't know how to explain it. So around like 4, 5-ish in the morning, he like walks out, we're in the living room like talking, you know, whatever, and he's like, oh, like what's going on? And she went on her rant with him about what he did and like what she found. And then I brought up the camera, and, you know, he kind of, like, brushed it off. He didn't really say anything about it. He was trying to focus on his, like, marriage, and, like, kind of just brushed off everything that, like, I was saying, like, okay. And so at that point, it's kind of hard to remember, but, like, I think I went back to my room and I just went to sleep. And I remember in the morning, he, like, walked into my room after, like, no apology was given the night before, like, nothing, like, he had no remorse, he didn't care. And I was, like, angry and, like, shaking, and I was like, why? Like, why'd you do that? And he was like, if you think your dad's weird, and if you think I had this weird intent with it, then you might as well just call the cops now and just put me in jail. Because, you know, child pornography, filming with minor, no consent, like, there's so many things that, like, I was doing in my room that he had access to, that he could have seen, like, so, but he kind of was just, like, told me I had no other option. Either I deal with it, or I call the cops and he goes to jail. But then that leaves me with not knowing where to go, because my mom is a 6-hour flight from me. My school was down here. Like, the only family I had down here was my dad, so I really didn't have a choice. But this video is long, so let me film another part so I can talk more about, like, why he said he put it in there, like, more about details on, like, what happened after that, and, like, why it took so long for me to move out after. But I'll post that.
Get ready for me while I tell you guys how me and this one girl were beefing the whole 5 days in Chicago. Okay, so if you haven't seen the fight video on Colette's account, go check it out. I'll tag her in the caption. But basically, here's the story time. Okay, so whenever I first got to Chicago, me and her were good. Like, we had met before, we had been close, made a few TikToks before, like, we had known each other, we were actually pretty close. I thought she was, like, one of the sweetest people I met, because, like, that's how she comes off, that's how she presents herself. But boy, was I wrong. Okay, so I'm really big on people, like, not taking my stuff without asking, or at least, like, asking to borrow something. And I don't really like sharing makeup, just because I feel like that's gross, and, like, I'm kind of a germaphobe, so I'm not a big fan of that. So one of the things about her that kind of, like, rubbed me the wrong way was that she would use my makeup without asking. And I kid you not, I almost lost it whenever she used my mascara, because I'm so big on not sharing eye makeup just because I've gotten pink eye so many times. So I literally almost lost it on her whenever she just took my mascara without asking. So I did get a little snappy with her. I was like, hey, like, I really need you to start asking before you use my stuff, because I don't share mascara, and I just think that's really gross. That's literally all I said to her, and then she rolled her eyes and walked away. And then whenever all the girls were getting ready in the bathroom for Olivia Rodrigo, we were all putting on face glitter, and so then I put on face glitter, and she told me that I looked terrible with it. And it honestly kind of did hurt my feelings, because I thought it looked cute, and I thought it looked good in the face glitter, but she told me it looked terrible on me, and that I should redo my whole makeup. So after all that happening, my day was kind of ruined at Lollapalooza, and I feel like I just, like, couldn't enjoy, like, all the people I wanted to enjoy, because I was just overthinking about that situation the whole time. So I kind of did have a bad day at Lollapalooza. Also, while we were at Lollapalooza, I was trying to, like, dance with Colette and Kaylee, and I don't know if this girl, like, felt left out or something, but she comes in and she shoves me, like, physically shoves me into another person just so she can, like, start dancing with Colette and Kaylee too. And so then, like, I'm, like, shoved and left out now. And the thing is, we honestly could have just made room for her if she would have asked, but she didn't ask. She physically just shoved me. So after that, I was honestly so done with her at that point, and I did get a little bitchy, and me and her, like, started arguing at Lollapalooza. I don't know if anybody saw this, because we low-key, like, were doing it secretly, because we didn't want our managers or anybody to know that, like, we were arguing or fighting, because, like, me and her were literally beefing that whole trip. And mind you, this is only, like, day 2 of us being there, and we had 5 more days to go. Fast forward to the second day we were at Lollapalooza. So this is, like, the problem that we had with the camera. She was the only one with a digital camera, so, like, I wanted photos by myself because I don't really take pictures by myself. And so she did take a few, which I'm very grateful for. But the thing is, I feel like the whole time while she was taking my pictures, she was being so rude and making it sound like a chore. But when any of the other girls asked, she'd be like, oh yes, of course. So that kind of, like, rubbed me the wrong way. And then another thing, she was going to delete, like, one of my solo pictures that, like, I looked so good in. Like, I'm not even, like, trying to be cocky or anything, but I'm not photogenic. Like, I cannot take photos, and that was, like, a one good photo of me that, like, I actually needed, because I do not take photos. And so she was trying to, like, delete that off her camera to free up storage for more photos of other people.
And I was like, wait, like, can you download it first and please send it to me or something before you delete it? Like, I really need that photo because I don't take good photos. Like, guys, I was literally begging for that photo, like, on my hands and knees pretty much because I wanted the photo. Eventually, I do get some of the other girls to get on my side, so she does end up, like, not deleting it, thank God, because I really wanted that photo. I feel like after I put up this video, she's gonna come up on here and say a bunch of lies, but I have so many people that can vouch for me on all this, so... And in Colette's video, I know it seems like I'm the problem and I'm seeming bitchy, but that's because I was just so fed up with her after all that. Like, I don't think anyone understands how fed up I was with her after all that. And I did say some pretty mean and hurtful things, but it's because, like, she'd been giving me, like, issues the whole trip, and I was just so ready to go home because I was just, like, not having a good time anymore. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed my story time of that whole video because I know I had a few people asking me for it. And yeah, bye guys.
When I first met my husband, I thought he was a total douchebag. I met him for the first time at church after I hadn't gone to church for about 2 years. My first impression of him, I thought, you were so into yourself. We were standing in a circle talking to a group of friends. He was just standing there with this super white, tight church shirt. My husband's really fit now. He was working out like crazy when we first met. Everything was super fitted and super tight on him. His chest was sticking out. He was and still is very clean shaven. He has a beard, and so his beard was super clean cut, and he has really short hair. It's also very clean cut. One of my guy friends was talking to him, making jokes to my husband about how he was talking to all these hoes and he had so many girls that he was talking to, like which one was he gonna take out next, all that stuff. And he just talked like a douche, just saying like, no, I don't get any hoes, I don't got any girls, I'm not good looking enough for that. I was like, really? You're 100% fishing for compliments right now. And then he came up and started talking to me. He was really nice and really polite. He asked me like what my plans were, and I was telling him how I was planning to go into nursing school. I asked him what his plans were. He said that he was doing classes for business and that maybe he wanted to own his own company one day. I was like, sounds about right. Especially with just how he looked in his tight shirt, and he would keep rolling his sleeves up a little bit. And I was like, you really have to do that. We all know that you got muscles. We can clearly see them. But then we went on our first date. We just hit it off, and it was honestly just perfect. This sounds so cliche, but I literally felt like I had just known him my entire life. I've never been able to be completely myself around someone, even like my good girlfriends. At first, I was really shy around them, but with him, it was just completely different. I literally spilled my entire life to him on literally our first date. Literally so much fun. We were laughing the whole time. He made me laugh so hard, and the douche level kind of went down. Now that I know him, he's literally the farthest thing from a douche. He's the nicest guy ever. He's just like the biggest golden retriever, like teddy bear husband. So funny because anyone who ever meets him at first always thinks that he's like a douche or a tool, same as what I thought. Then once they get to know him, they just realize that he's not like that at all. Just the most like fun, down to earth, down for anything type of guy. I guess the moral of the story is don't always trust your first impressions because they can definitely not be giving you the full picture. I thought I'd just share that story. I've never really told that many people about it. I love you guys all, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
After spending the whole night in the police station, get ready with me while I tell you the story about how I almost got kidnapped. So since summer is coming up, my sister's boyfriend decided to buy all of us like this like bike and like scoot. Well, there's one bike and there's one like scooter, but the bike is like powered by gas or whatever you want to say. And the bike randomly completely died on us. Like we kept trying to start it. It would not start. It had gas in it. It was all fine. It just wouldn't start. Like a 6-minute drive from my house. I don't know how far of a walk it is, but I had to walk that bike all the way back home. And it's on these like back roads that are like covered by trees. Not many things are by it. I don't know. It's getting close to the time where my brother has to help my mom. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna go help mom and I'll be back. I'll come find you. And I was like, okay, because guys, I did not have my phone. So I was alone on these back roads. I did not have my phone. I had nothing except the bike. Hear this car approaching behind me and slowing down, but like all the cars were slowing down to go around us because it was on this back road. There was nowhere else for us to go, so we had to kind of like be on the road. And he slows down. Keep in mind, he already passed us. He passed me when I was with my brother. So 10 minutes after my brother left, he drives past me again, but this time he slows down. Then he goes, oh, how far are you walking? And I was like, oh, just up the road. And he was like, oh, I can help you. And he starts to pull over on the side of the road. And I was like, no, I got it. It's fine. I said, no. Then he's like, no, I'm helping you. And I was like, no. Then he turns off his truck, gets out, and starts walking towards me. I'm walking like away, and he's like walking towards me. So it's kind of like this kind of thing. He just keeps walking towards me. I'm like, no, I got it. At this point, I'm literally like in a ditch, almost in the cornfield, because he's like kind of like pushing me. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, oh, come on, just let me help you. I was like, no, I'm good. It's right up the road. And he was like, I got an ID. I can show you who I am so you know who I am. And I was like, no, it's okay. Then he proceeds to go to his car. And I was scared. I didn't know what he was going to, like, pull out. Like, or what. But he did end up pulling out his wallet. And he was going to give me his, like, ID so, like, I knew who he was. But that doesn't help anything. At this point, I am, like, literally in the ditch. Because, like, he kept, like, not like cornering me, but it was like I was going and he was going. And like I was in the ditch, almost in the cornfield with the damn bike, because like I don't want to lose my sister's boyfriend's bike. This is the brother in question. Can't see him, but he's the one that left me to die.
Type shit.
Anyways, so then after I said no all those times, he was like, what did he say? He was asking if, like, because he saw me and my brother driving with each other earlier. And he was like, do you know that guy that drove off? And I was like, yeah, it's my brother. And he was like, he was going pretty fast. Is he going to come back? And I was like, I don't know. Because I seriously didn't know. I should have said yes. There was, like, a church, like, like a minute walk up the road. And then when I finally told him that I had friends at that church, that's when he got in his car. But then he, like, found me like this, like, for about a minute. And then right before I got to the church, he, like, turned around and then zoomed that way. Like, the opposite way. I think what made it worse was I was on a back road with no phone. And it was kind of, like, covered by trees. And my brother left me. So, like, this is your sign to not do anything alone, because... So, stay safe. Watch out for your surroundings. Bye, guys.